Okay, we made a mistake here, and we're losing our son. Okay, I made a mistake here. I've said 9.749 feet. Inches. I mean feet, but it's really inches. So you see I changed it to inches. So when I multiplied this by 12. What I was supposed to do is divide it by 12, not multiply it by 12. So let's look at that. Let's go. 9.749, okay, divided by 12 equals, okay, make sure I got that right. 9.749 divided by 12 equals 8.12. So this is wrong here. It's point. You know what? I'm doing the wrong thing. Am I doing the wrong thing? Yeah. No, that's right. It's 0.812. And that's feet. All right. So that 16 point whatever that was wrong, because I had took this and multiplied it by 12 when I was supposed to divide it by 12. And I was wondering why it was so long, why it was 9 feet long, and it just didn't make sense with the proportions of this. And especially it didn't make sense. This is where I caught it at when I was going to do this measurement here. So let's do this now. We're going to figure out the rafter length from the top of the stands to the plumb cut on the rafter. And I hope you can see this calculator really good. We're losing sunlight, so I'm going to wrap it up for today. But the way you do this is this way. You take, it's two ways you could do this. There's two ways you could do it. You could square root this and square root this, which is in inches, and square root this is in inches, and that'll give you the length. Or you could do it this way. We're going to do it both ways so I can show you how both ways to do it. Now, you got 8.55. Let's plug that in. 8.55 inches. Okay. We want to multiply that by 0.80 feet times 0.805 feet equals no, I'm doing that wrong. Okay, let's do this. 19.005 times 0.805 is the way it's read. So 8.05 times 19.005 equals, okay, I think I put a decimal. Okay, 19.005 times 0.805 equals 15.29. You could just make it 1530 because the number is the third one is 9. So, but we're going to write it exactly. 15.299, which is 15 inches, and it's 15 3/8 basically. Okay. Now to turn this into feet, we just divide it by 12. And so that's 1.274 feet. So we got the length of the hip in feet and inches. When you measure this hip, you measure from the bevel long point, which is the center point of the rafter. And you measure all the way down the center of the rafter to the center of the rafter when you're taking your measurement. You don't take your tape measure to one side or the other of the rafter. You measure to the center, and then you get your angle. That's way more complex, and I'm going to have real lumber and all that. So we got our length for our rafters, all our rafters. We got all our lengths for our rafters. Now, the next thing we want to figure out, because I really go in detail with this, and I figure out all the variables. I figure out all the variables that you would have to know if you were reading the Constructor's Bible, the Roof Framer's Bible, or the Marshall Gross book. Those are some of the two key books. The two key books. It's a lot of other good books out there, but I like those two books. A lot of other books out there, but I like those two books. They're very thorough. And they're good references for just quick references if you're doing a roof or something. So now what we want to figure out is this. We want to subtract this measurement from this measurement, so we can get a measurement of how far this hip is off the corner. Now, we do know how much of the hip is off the corner by measuring from the King Common, the 1212 King Common over. But you can get the King Common measurement. You can get the hip measurement by measuring from the corner of the house in. And so to do that, because this measurement is shorter than that, the difference in those two measurements is going to give you that from the outside of the sheeting in to the top plate on that wall. So this is very easy. It's just subtracting. So you got 1.937 minus 0.984 equals 0.953. So and this is feet, because both of these measurements are in feet. You can see the feet mark there. So we got 0.957. This is way harder doing this with a camera and trying to explain it than it is. That pen don't work good. But the measurement is, I'm going to write it again so you can see it legibly. 9.957. Okay. Now, to see what that's feet. Okay. So we're going to put our feet mark there. To change this into inches, you multiply it by 12. And so that's 11.436. So 11.436. And that's inches. That's from the outside of the sheeting in on the top plate for the 1212 side is 11. And that's to the center of the hip, not the side of the hip. So this measurement, and by the way, this measurement, you might as well change this into inches too. So when you butt this and that, everything will line up. And when you're doing this stuff, you could check it with these two measurements, which it should come out to the same thing. So now what we're going to do is take this and turn this into inches, because right now it's into feet. Easy way to do it. You just multiply by 12. 0.984 feet times 12 inches equals. And so that comes out to 11.808. Now I want to show you something. I'm going to check this to see if it's right. So what we're going to do is these 2 inches, these 2-inch measurements, we're going to add those together and see if they come out right. And if they come out to 23.25, which is this is the same measurement here. It's the same measurement as this, but it's just in inches. So let's see how close we are. So we already got 11.808 in the calculator. Now we're going to add that plus 11.436 equals 23.25. I got 23.24. Same thing. That's 1/100th of an inch. You know, that's that's a hair's breadth. Okay, so we got that. That means all of this is right. This hip is in the right place. And again, don't mess this up, y'all. The hip, the measurement is to the center. So if you measure off the edge of the sheeting in and square up to the top of the plate, it's going to be 11, and that's 4/3/6, which is 11 3/8. Okay. But if you butt the rafter, not going to the center of the king common, but just butt the rafter and measure over 11.80, which is about 11 7/8 shy, light. Okay, it's still going to bring you to the center of this hip. You see how beautiful that is? That is so beautiful. Now, for me to explain this, it takes a lot more time, because usually I just have all this stuff in my head and I don't have to articulate it. But when you are explaining this to somebody, it's taking way longer. I got cameras here. I got to upload stuff. It's a whole lot of problems. Sunlight, move my table, a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, now that we figured that out, we got this figured out. Now I'm going to show you how to figure out your jacks. Yes, I'm going to figure out your jacks, all your jacks. You could do all this on a sheet of paper, y'all. Now, if I didn't have to explain this and do camera and had other things to do, I could do this thing in 30 minutes. I'm going to even show you how to figure out the angle on your plywood to sheet this. That's how thorough this is. So everything I said that you see in the Roof Framers Bible, I know how to figure out with just a little $9 calculator. That's what I mean. I really mean that. So what I'm going to do is pause right now, and we're going to pick up later on with the rest of this. And when we pick up again, we're going to pick up on, I know exactly what we're going to pick up on. I can't say right now, but I just stay tuned. Please subscribe, share, like, and everything with your friends, your co-workers, your boss, all kinds of people, and study this material. You have any questions, please ask me. Because what I'm going to do, all these videos are not going to be free. Some of these videos are going to be, they're going to be for pay and for prescription. You got to have not prescription, but subscriptions. And you're going to be able to have a monthly video and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to have contests and giveaways, all that kind of stuff. So the things that I'm teaching here, you're going to see the value in knowing these things. And I could do this not just on paper. I could do it this all kinds of ways. You know, I've made all the mistakes, and I know all the ways that you can do this kind of stuff. So that's me. This is the Master Carpenter series signing out. And my name is Lewis, the Master Carpenter. And I'll talk to you later.